Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking Dairy Free and Alpha Golf Nancy. And tonight's the first live. So I'm just testing this to see how it's going to do and everything. But I do want to start off with showing y'all what we use for dairy free and alpha golf. And so let's see here. I'm just going to type in here, welcome everyone. Glad y'all are here. Alrighty, so let me just do one other thing. Alright, I gotta send somebody the link. Hold on. Share. Because this is a test to make sure that we can go live. I am live. I see it myself. And we'll see who pops in. Alrighty. So, and I have allergies, so when I blink, the thing is on my glasses. So I'm like doing this to see between the drops, But my granddaughter was born with a dairy allergy, and then back in 2017, I was bit by a tick. So there's Joy and Donnie. Awesome. So I contracted alpha gall. I didn't eat beef and everything for 3 years or so. The tests have all came back negative, but sometimes I still have some type of reaction. So I stick with the turkey burger. So it's turkey burger, turkey products, and chicken. So as far as the dairy-free things, hey Robin, how you doing? The dairy-free products we used to use. Follow Your Heart. They have a lot of the cheese, shredded cheese, and everything. Whole Foods used to have them, but they don't have it much anymore. So we do use their Parmesan cheese. To me, it tastes just like Parmesan cheese. So that's one product that we do use. Every once in a while, they'll still find some of the shreds and everything, and it just depends on the prices because a lovely 5 years ago things went up and they didn't go down, but it's being worked on. So here's alright. So as far as the shredded cheese goes, this is Simple Truth. This is Kroger's brand, so it really melts good like regular cheese. The other brands we use, this is the Myers brand, which is their brand is True Goodness. This is the Mexican. We have the Parmesan shreds, and then the pepper jack. So we use those, and that melts pretty good too and everything. So thank you, Joy. And thank you, Robin, for being here. So those are the cheeses that we use. We used to get sliced cheese and everything, but just here lately they said it's just not in the store and everything, and we don't want to drive all the way out to Whole Foods. That's a trip in itself and everything. So we try to stay in the area and everything. And even now, the way things are, we still in that one store has everything that we need. So it's Myers, Sam's, it's Kroger, it's this store or that store and everything. So it's like, So as far as all right. So the next thing we'll talk about, we'll start with the cheese, be the butter. Now, there's a lot of plant-based butter. Country Crock has plant-based butter, and we were getting that. And then they found this, Country Crock Original. It has no dairy in it. It is purified water, soybean oil. So now I've been using this. And I was like, well, if it's the soy, we'll find out. I was eating soy just to see if it come out on that test. So the soybean allergy test came back negative. So I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Because there's stuff like mayonnaise has soy in it. It says palm oil, salt, lecithin, which is soy, vinegar, natural flavors, vitamin A, palmate, beta-carotene, and color. So to me, sometimes it is what it is. Unless you are not dairy free and you can have all the regular butter and everything, that's still the best for you. But this is what we use because it will be a year or so before it really, if any stage of stuff that she's doing right there, her body adjusts. So they're doing the immunology with her, and I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 days. On 2 days, she had a little tingling on her tongue and everything. They go to the doctor Thursday, so we'll see what the doctor says about it. So she's been handling it really well and everything. She says she wants to be a normal kid and eat regular dairy. I have to get rid of so many things in my diet, especially sugar. I love my creamer, but it's full of sugar. I understand that. But you can make your own. I'll be doing that here on the channel too. But this is the butter that we use, and it's in the big tub. Those little small tubs, those things were $5 at least. And it's like, man, it's nice to have a big tub of butter now. So, other things that we found, dairy-free nacho cheese. It's nacho cheese. So, we use this like on tacos, quesadillas, anything that like could be a Mexican dish, but you take it and use, your corn chips, use it for dips and everything. And this is really good. The only thing about it, it has paprika in it and jalapeno peppers. So with the fibromyalgia, I try to stay away from there we go. And that's what it looks like. Peppers. So, I'll eat it every once in a while. Just because I'm trying to introduce stuff to see if it will actually be all right. All right. Now, this is Myers brand also, if you don't have a Myers, but we use a True Goodness, has dairy-free yogurt. Anastasia loves this. I'm going to stick this back in the fridge. And that butter, I don't mind so much, but that's yogurt. So they've been getting that. She really likes yogurt. So, and you can compare the prices to regular yogurt and dairy-free yogurt. It's kind of like compatible with each other. Hey, Jane Doe, good to see you. And thank you for everybody who's watching on TV and watch the replay. Thank y'all for coming and all. So it's going to be exciting because, I'll be doing live cooking also. I just haven't figured out a time yet. Other thing we use is the Country Crock has a plant-based cream to make whipping cream. So I've made that with my chocolate dessert. Y'all know that chocolate dessert? It was so good. So I'm going to make that again. But this time I'm going to put in a graham cracker pie crust and put it in the fridge. And I'll probably just do a short video on that because I've already done the recipe on how to make the chocolate pudding, which is pretty cool because, don't have to use Jell-O. brand or store brand. But now, we can use that. All right. So, I didn't think about that. This right here, the Jello brand, that's dairy free. So that's another product we can use. The honey graham crackers we use. I've got something coming with that. Actually, believe it or not, thank you, Lipton. This has no dairy in it. So we can use those to sit there and make stuff. And basically, your noodles don't have any dairy in it. And then I'll most things. Bread, it does. I was shocked when we were starting to do this when she was born, how much bread was made with milk. So besides the chicken, this is all I had at the Sam's the last time was the no antibiotics and the turkey burger. So I'm like, this is gonna be cool to try out, which I had one today. I made me a burger today, and it was so good. I made it in the Ninja. So I was like, yeah, that's in it. And I used the air fryer, so that was really good. And then I've got my mustard here that I did the video on, 3 quarts of that. So that was like pretty cool. I still have my honey mustard that I made in there. And the other thing we use right now is the almond breeze milk. We were using the soy milk, but for some reason, even back then, it was Anastasia. It was just she got to where she didn't want to drink it and everything. And I did some research. So this is like 2016, 2017. And here, this is how the Lord works. It's so ironic. I know Joy, but I never saw my grandmother make bread with milk. None of them, my aunts, they all used water. I'm trying to figure out what side needs to be fixed. They all used water. We never used milk to make bread. And I was like, I don't know. So, we were using silk soy. I was like, something's not right because it was upsetting her stomach. So I researched it, and the company that bought it, it's under a different name, but it's actually Horizon Organic Milk. So I emailed them, and they say, yeah, they wash between, they use the same things to process the soy milk as they do the organic milk, but they wash in between and everything. I said, y'all ain't washing good enough because my granddaughter, because she was little, she was only like 3 or 4, 13. Yeah. And I was like, she's having a reaction to y'all's soy milk and everything. And she didn't have a soy allergy because it's already been tested for that and everything. So we switched to the almond breeze and everything, and she's been fine ever since. So they start with this right here, to make sure they use Horizon Organic Milk. And I was like, that's like the Lord is like comes back in full circle and everything to things that it was having a hard time with back then, but now maybe her body, and they've been introducing things slowly. And like what it says, processed on the same equipment as they list all the stuff: egg, soy, milk, peanuts, and then the list goes on. So some things she can tolerate, some things she cannot. So I've been praying and we're hoping that she actually grows out of it. But in the meantime, they're doing that. And in the meantime, until everything's So that's going to be next year or so. So we'll still be dairy free and alcohol because, yes, I have tried eating regular hamburger and I didn't have a reaction. But last June, I went to the allergist, the first allergist, and she goes, the test came back and alcohol was negative and everything because I was telling her that I have a trip coming up, that be nice and everything to have a steak and all. She turns to me and she goes, just don't have the beef and don't have a steak. No reasoning whatsoever why. Just don't eat the stuff. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense at all. So, we got the results that, it was, so that was last June. So, then I saw her back in March of this year. So I started eating beef again and, tacos and hamburgers and all that good stuff. Spaghetti and everything. And a month later, and I did not put the two together, I started having issues. It wasn't my hands, it was my eyes. And I'm like, okay. So I was on the phone with Kim and I'm just like, and I talked to her, I said, something's not right. I said, because this is acting just like my hands were. I said, we know it's not the hamburger they're playing. I said, because the test came back negative. I said, it can't be that. So then we start thinking, so about Christmas time, it was only this eye, it was this eye. And I'm like, I'm freaking out because I woke up one morning and like my eyes are like this. I'm like, almost closed. I said, well, I could still sleep. I'm not going to the hospital. I was refused to go to the hospital because I'm like, they're not going to have an answer. I know they're not. So I'm like, okay. So I'm asking people I know and everything, and what's good to help us to reduce the swelling in the eyes and everything. Everybody said tea bags, and I researched it and I looked up what it said. Chamomile is good, so I had that, and I put it on my left eye. So if it's backwards, whatever, I put it on my left eye, and it really, I was swollen. I was like, okay, that's not it. So when Christmas came around, now our treasure home, I had the video I did with the phyllo dough and the regular sausage and everything, and we thought it was soy because that has soy in it. So, because I was like, oh my goodness, it was bad. And then my hands, and it always starts right here, right where I had the carpal tunnel surgery. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to have that. So it went down. That was Christmas Day. That was right before Christmas. So the day after Christmas, I had the sausage because my eyes had gone down. So I just fixed the regular pork sausage and then it flared up again. I'm like, you are kidding me. So it's like, well, went back to eating turkey and chicken and everything. So biscuits are made with milk too. Actually, Pillsbury's is not made with milk. And so they changed their um, formula because we couldn't buy Pillsbury for a long time. So thank you, Pillsbury. We appreciate that. Um, Nestle has come out. Some of their chocolate chips. They've got dairy free chocolate chips. And they got dairy free cookie dough that you make cookie. Hold on, one moment. Okay, they're playing in what? They're brushing teeth and everything. So I apologize if y'all hear some words that other people say. So I stopped eating um the regular meat. I stopped eating pork and everything. They go down, and then it comes back, goes down, and I was like, okay. So I wanted a second opinion. I went to another allergist, and they did the same test and everything. The alcohol came back negative and everything, but he did more of an intense. I don't say intense, but kind of intense. They did more panels, everything than the first allergist. They did my whole back, and they did the back of my arms and everything. And so there was some things that came back they were kind of like iffy on, and then they did it was like underneath the skin on my arm. So that's when they found the grass pollen, the trees, and the mold. And the alpha-gal came back negative, and I was sitting there talking to him. He goes, if it bothers you, he goes, just don't eat it. He goes, you may be that one person that you can't have it, but it won't show up on the test. I'm like, yeah, most likely. you know, that's me. So I was like, God made us all unique in some way, shape, or form, and I think it's to help other people so we can understand what others go through. So, you know, um, and regular cheese between how much this is priced and like your craft cheese and everything, I think it's kind of like all the same price now because, you know, lockdowns a few years ago and everything else that we went through. But some things have come around that people they realized that people have food allergies and are starting to make things without dairy and or soy and peanuts and everything. So peanut butter is something that we can have. I got the book Eat for Your Blood Type. So I want to try that and see what happens, um, along with doing the dairy free and the alpha-gal, because a lot of the stuff that's in that book that I can have is alpha-gal friendly and it's dairy free friendly. So I'm just like kind of like already eating that way, and just want to add some other things to it and everything, just to have a variety of things. So that's why I started the garden uh, the night 5 minutes before bedtime. Everybody gets all riled up. So that's why I'll probably be most likely in my lives will probably be during the day. Um, I haven't figured out if it's going to be like a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday or maybe when they're grocery shopping, because one week it's a Tuesday and the next week it's a Monday. So, and then who knows? I might go pop a live at midnight on this channel just because everybody's asleep by then. But I also have people who are hour, 2 hours, 3 hours behind me. And then you got people who are just waking up, or it might be midday somewhere. Hey, Heather, how you doing? So just trying to figure out a good time to do things. I was telling Joy the other day, I said, I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning anyway, sometimes. I might as well go live. So I might be, just figuring out the times for this channel when to do the lives and all. So, and I think I might, do it after midnight after they all go to sleep, so you don't have to hear some of the foul language that I apologize for. I'm working on that. The power of a praying parent. Yes, indeed. So anyway, cooking. Cooking is going to be here. The cooking, the baking, the desserts, the sides, the main dishes, and everything. I will plug in about my cookbook here. I have made a cookbook about dairy-free and alcohol cooking. I am still working on that along with other projects that are behind the scenes. I am wanting my goal is before Christmas, but I've got to kind of it's not redo it, but transfer it to another format because the place I went through, I'm not pleased with them. So, but yes, these products. Now this milk, I got the shelf stable one because this is the unsweetened, which I like the unsweetened. Because if I'm using this to make a dessert with, and I use sugar, which I should get the other sugar down, then I have to have this too sweet. So they like the sweet milk, so they get the one that's sweetened. And no, this is not soda; it's water. So it's all right. That's the sugar that I use. And I use stevia also. Because my son was like, sweet and low is bad for you. We used sweet and low when it came out. And the NutraSweet and everything. I never thought about anything, what they say anyway. But this is I cannot say that name. Yeah, this name, erythritol, whatever. So I buy this every once in a while and use that sugar because I want to compare. Like I said, I have questions. I'll ask questions. I want to see the answer and everything. So when I made the chocolate dessert, that's the sugar that I used. I didn't use regular sugar. I used that sugar, and I was like, it still came out so good. I was like, oh my goodness. So like I said, I want to be making that chocolate dessert again. I also want to try using. I have some grape juice over there. I got on purpose because I want to make something with the grape juice. April Sunrise Farm did a video about. It's kind of like a short about how ketchup was made with grapes before they start using tomatoes. So I will be doing a video on that. I've got videos made. I've got to edit and upload and everything. I've got videos coming out this week and next week. I try to get ahead of myself and everything. And I'm like, I can't get too ahead because then I'll forget what I have on the phone. I'm like, and I'll go back to the miss anything. And I'm like, I don't want to do that again. So I'll be, going through my phone, kind of like editing and then uploading them out further. So the videos are coming. Some of them are just going to be further out. Yeah, the grapes. I didn't ever know that ketchup was made with grapes. And she goes, you can make barbecue sauce with it too. And I was like, ooh, lovely ideas coming around because regular barbecue sauce has, paprika and the peppers and everything in it. And I was like, if I can sit there and make those recipes, and everything. And I was like, if I'm gonna try to do those this week, and if I get the ketchup and the barbecue sauce done with the grapes, I will move some videos around because then I want to show everybody that instead. Because I was like, that sounds so good, you know. And then, well, and that's what I have right now as far as the ingredients. As far as like dairy free and everything. And I've got some ideas with this. Always the Jello. I see stuff on Pinterest and everything. Anastasia and I will look at it. She goes, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. So it's like in between the cookbooks and the stuff I found online and everything. And it's like, I just got to start really writing down and doing things and getting it done. One thing I am going to do, because I have the one ingredient I need is on the grocery list. I am going to make these right here. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was looking at the recipe. I was like, oh, these look so good. I'm like, it's time to make some of those. We've done some of the pinwheels. The pinwheel that's on the other channel. But I will be doing this one again. We did the peanut butter. We did one with the peanut butter. This one I want to do with strawberry jelly. Because that's like a nut feel. And I've got that. But I don't mind trying to do one with jelly instead to see how it comes out. The chocolate one right here, I have everything for that. So I'll definitely be making that. And these are my favorite. These right here. These always been my favorite at Christmas time. Because that's the only time they ever came out. And I was like, oh, so Archway Cookies. Okay. So Archway Cookies has those powdered walnut pecan cookie things, whatever. It says no milk. Yeah, right. They didn't put on the package. It may be processed in the same facility as milk, soy, wheat, peanuts, da 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 da. And I let them have it. I sure did. I emailed them because Anastasia and I had one, and she just really had a reaction. She, when she has a reaction, the little blisters, not blisters, but like whelps and stuff. She started, I was like, oh my goodness. So that was last year. Because it's like, okay, yeah, don't have alcohol. We can have, it didn't have any dairy in it. Yeah. So always look at your packages and everything, check. And then if you're still not sure, take a picture of it, email the company, and ask. Because if y'all have noticed here lately, a lot of the news, the food that's being recalled is not because, I know, Robin, I know, it's not because, hives, it's not because of salmonella or anything else. That's a lot of that's been going around, but a lot of it is because an undeclared allergen was not listed on the label. So I'm like, how in the world does a food company that knows that that's supposed to be on the label and they have quality control let that go out the door? To me, that's done on purpose. And then, that's just the excuse to hike up the prices. And that's my opinion. Not anybody else's. That's my opinion. So, but, buy some flour, buy some sugar, whatever sugar you like, cocoa powder and everything. You can make your own stuff. And I was like, okay, they had it here. Oh, I made pecan sandies. I'm redoing that again. Oh my goodness. They were so good. Okay. Let's see if I can find them. And, Nelson Tollhouse makes those pecan. Do you say pecan or do you say pecan? So any of my Canadian friends that are watching, hey y'all, because I had that southern accent. Yes, it does come out. It comes out a lot more than it used to. Oh, where is this at? Well, if I look at one of the, maybe right here, not that one. Oh yeah, I have got so many things. Whoops. All right, that's not that far, not that way. I take a little bit of strips of paper and trying to get through here. All right, let's sugar cookies. Almond sandies, and they don't have a picture of it, but they have, that right there. And I'm just like, those are cherry cookies. So that's one of the things. So that's just one of the cookbooks, and I've got several more. Thank you. I try. So you gotta look at the glass half full instead of half empty. You know, because yeah, that's the way I see things. I've always seen it that way. That's just the way I am. That's the way God made me. Because, and I send stuff out. I'll be sending stuff out to all kind of, to people to help cheer them up and everything. And I'll get, that's at the phone. It's kind of quiet now because everybody's gone to bed basically. That I talk to on Instagram. But yeah, all day long, back and forth and everything. My son goes, "You're on your phone all the time." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Just only when he's down here. Unless I'm talking to somebody. So I'm just like, that's what YouTubers are. We communicate and we talk to people. We help each other out and everything. And then brothers and sisters in Christ, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to encourage one another and everything. And that's, I took that to heart a long time ago about being an encourager. And that's part of our treasure home and part of the cooking channel. I'm encouraging people to cook, to make things for themselves. Try something different. If something doesn't work one way and you can't have, all right, so we can't have regular Cool Whip, find a different way to make Cool Whip. That chocolate pudding that I made, I did put I think I did. I'll have to go back. It's Elle's Kitchen. But she didn't, she kind of like did a little snippet of everything. She gave the ingredients, but then how long it would cook. A lot of it's vegan, but I'm just like, I'm going to take some of those recipes. I'll still give her credit for it because that's who I got it from. But do the full recipe so we all can learn how to make it. Because sometimes maybe we can't get to the store. We may have, we got that cornstarch and we got the milk and we got the sugar and, got the cocoa powder. So there may be something else besides chocolate. And maybe if you got like Jello pudding or something. So, and then experiment with your food and everything. Oh, it's itching. Oh my goodness. It's just, so, and then, I have the espresso stuff, so stuff like I know I can have, and coffee. You can flavor it with coffee. Do a coffee pie instead of something else. Yeah, you can always change up the ingredients. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? Good, you're here. And so, there's all kinds of ways that we can do all kinds of things and everything. So let's see here. I'm gonna do some things here because I can do this on the phone, which is easier. There we go. Cool. All right, I got that fixed. Yeah, see, change ingredients to, what you need. Take a basic recipe. That's some of the ideas I have. Take a basic recipe and change it up. A lot of people don't like peppers. I love peppers, but peppers really give me really bad heartburn. And so I should have learned a long, long time ago, just lay off the peppers. But I love peppers and I like the flavoring of them all. So I changed it up. So instead of peppers, I use leeks. Uh, but I could have celery. You think of we use fennel and leeks and some other things and everything. All right, cool. The art. So I was like, just change it up because some people don't like onions. Well, leek is kind of like an onion family, but doesn't taste like onion. Fennel, I can guarantee you, it tastes like licorice. And Anastasia and I love it. I did try to grow some fennel this year, and it seems like now it's really the tops of it is starting to get really tall. So I was like, don't go pull it. So I had to go back and look how long it takes for it to actually mature and everything. Because I was like, I just really want to go pull it and go have a garden fresh fennel. But it's doing well. It really is. So as far and then the condiments, I did a video. It should have come out today, but making your own mayonnaise and everything. Now the one I made, I think it was half avocado oil I used up. It was like 1 cup of that and 1 cup of olive oil. Yeah, it tastes all right, but I went and mix it again. Just do one or the other. Grapeseed oil, that works. You can use any oil you have to make mayonnaise and everything. But the first video I did, I forgot completely. It was like after I made it, I'm like, I'm only supposed to pour this in a little at a time. So I made the dressing, that one. If you do it that way, don't let it sit for too long. 1 or maybe 2 days before you use it because it will not taste good afterwards. It's like, oh goodness. That was not good at all. I'll get my cup. I still have some tea left to drink that. So now I drink green tea. I drink lots of water. I try to do 2 liters of water a day, but it's like a liter and a half. But I have my coffee and my tea. I do the spearmint tea. I have green tea. We have some other flavored teas. And then the water. But I do flavor my water every once in a while. Sometimes just plain water just doesn't cut it. And then, I have cookbooks that use like hamburgers and then pork, and we don't use pork chops. We have not cooked pork chops since August of 2017, September. Because we noticed back then, like we would do chicken dishes like 2 or 3 days. And then, I know that is so cool. We stopped using pork back in 2017, probably like August, September or so, and everything. Because we noticed those 3 days or so we didn't have any pork. We felt better. So, and then when we did have pork, it was like, ugh, So we stopped eating pork except for pork bacon. We gotta have bacon. Um, oh, you're welcome, Heather. Um, we started, so we felt better. So we haven't had pork products in a long time. Now the pork sausage is what I had at last Christmas, and I, had a reaction. I'm just like, so, 2 tests of alpha-gal both come back negative, but both doctors have kind of like said the same thing. If you still have a reaction to it, just lay off of it. And, the other doctor said, maybe once a week, he goes, or, every other week or so, and just don't have any beef products every day. And this girl loves deer meat, venison, and I was like, not to have it anymore. I was like, that's not fair. So that's like, it's okay. We haven't had that in years. Oh my goodness. I think the last time I had any venison or anything was back when I was 20 some years old. That's how long it's been. But I don't have any, we've never had bison or anything else like that. So, but yeah, then this is what we do for dairy-free and alpha-gal. I'm thinking, what else? So probably the next live I do, I'll be going through the cookbooks, showing some dishes or crock pot meals and everything I'm doing. That's why I like the Ninja. I can air fry, I can slow cook in it, I can pressure cook in it, I can saute and stir fry in it. I can dehydrate and bake in it, because I did a video with the bread from start to finish. So let's see. Did that come out yet? Yeah, from start to finish, bread made in the Ninja. The only thing different I would do, that I would definitely do a second rise on that bread. And the same way if I did the bread in the oven. But I wanted to do it in the Ninja because I wanted to see how that would actually come out all the way from start to finish. Making the insert warm enough to make the yeast rise, and then, have that rise, and make the dough and everything, and have that warm enough to, let that rise. I mean, it rose pretty good. It was like this, and then when it baked, it kind of went down. But we like it because the bread is round. Anastasia loves it like that. So, one time it came out smaller, and it made me think more of a sourdough bread because it was smaller. Everything was the whole size of the insert, and also next time I want to try doing some rolls in there, because I have a insert that's in that cabinet right there. I got specifically for the Ninja to see how well that could do, but it's like you gotta have 2 tongs to pull it out, because I think my metal thing that goes in there, it flips, and you can have it up high or down low. I don't know if it's underneath the cabinet, and I'll have to get Anastasia to look, or if it got stuck in storage somewhere. So it's like, oh wow. So, but this was a test to see if I could go live on the channel with like 40 subscribers, because I knew some people were subscribed that were private and everything, and that was cool. So, they gave me that 24-hour wait, and also I was like, yay, I can go live on this channel too. So, yeah, definitely be doing some cooking lives like I used to on here. And like I said, it's nice and quiet now because everybody's gone to sleep. I don't have to whisper. Well, nobody have to worry about someone slipping up and saying something. So, it might be, some late night late night for me lives, some other people it's going to be morning or, early night for them or in the afternoon, which is fine with me. I enjoy that because, everybody's on a different time zone and time schedule, which is pretty cool. I really do enjoy doing that. Um, you know, but um, here lately, I'm just like trying to lose weight, get this off. I said 50, but it's like I've lost 30 pounds. So I'm working on the next 50 because I'm determined to get into those size 18 jeans. Yes, I am. Before January. Because I was like, that was my goal last time. And, stuff happened and everything. So I put the weight back on. This time it's come off. And I was like, yes, low carb, dairy free, alcohol. To me, it works, especially the low carb. I hadn't done low carb the last couple of days. Well, I did for breakfast, not for dinner. But I really hadn't do it. Like last night was just those noodle cups and everything. But I added some other vegetables to it and everything, like beets and corn. And I know corn's not really low carb, but it was my dinner. And that's what I do. Low carb for breakfast, no carbs for breakfast, no carbs for lunch. And then my dinner from like, if I start at 5 o'clock, I have to 6 o'clock. And then I'll eat my dinner and then snacks or ice cream or whatever. And thank the Lord, I ate the last of my ice cream last night because I was figuring, well, if I have a soy allergy, I'm going to enjoy this last ice cream while I can. And I can have that ice cream again. It's like, yes! So, but that's what I'm doing. So that's what I bring along with this channel also about low carb, I guess you can say keto dishes also, but to me that's low carb. I'll post it. I didn't make a video, but I'll post a picture here. I posted it on the Instagram. I made, it's kind of like a egg wrap. That I made. And I was like, I need to post it just in the post so y'all can see it. But it was just took two eggs in a bowl, mixed it together, put it in the frying pan, and that used a Ninja to make it like an omelet type thing. That is a yellow squash and an onion that's in the middle, and with cheese. And I was like, oh, Joy, oh my goodness, Heather, you need to go see, oh my goodness, Joy and Donnie are taking these drops, and you gotta go to Joy's Facebook page, go to her channel, or you can go to the live I had. They have been done amazing for them, and all. So I was like, I was 16 by now. I know. You just never know. I wouldn't mind being a size 14 like I was in high school. Yes. All right. So now weight journey. Since this is cooking, started when I was 13. I was 175. And that summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I lost 40 pounds. I was down to 135. So, and I kept it off all high school and everything. And what we do, Richard Simmons, we had Weight Watchers and Richard Simmons, and I did his meal plan, and I walked. Did not realize that walking 30 minutes back then before you ate is what really revs up your metabolism and everything. And Joy, you got Heather's attention now. So I kept it off, got married, had 2 kids, put the weight back on. My son I live with, when he was born, I was like, So the weight I am now is the weight I was when he was born. When he was born, I dropped 20 pounds because it was him and all the everything that comes with having a baby. And I could not get it off. And then I worked for GNC, and a trainer worked part-time for me, underneath me. And he showed me the no carbs. And he told me to walk 30 minutes before eating breakfast. And that's what I did. And I went from 230 to 165. And I kept that off for a while. Then I moved to South Carolina and stressed and everything because the weight came back on. And I've done the low carb. I know it works for me. But I got injured. And so, back and forth with the weight yo-yo and everything. In 2009, I got hurt by slipping and falling on ice with a pizza delivery company. And that was it, and the doctor, I was hurting, the injuries and with the back, and the disability doctor looked at me, he goes, "You'll never work again." And I'm just that person. You tell me I can't do it, and I was that way as a kid. You tell me I can't do it, I'm going to show you I can. And yeah, from the last doctor I had until I got here, the last things that was ever told me, I could not stand up longer than 15 minutes, and I can't sit longer than 30 minutes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I slipped and fell at my bank before I moved to Missouri. So that was June of 2009. I slept in the day after Christmas in 2009 at, I'll say it, Papa John's. And that's the slip. But I did fall at my bank and everything. And they did x-rays, and the doctor goes, "Do you know you had degenerative disc disease in your sacrum?" And I'm like, "Huh?" She goes, "Yeah, it's been there for a while." I was like, "Oh, now I understand why when I sit too long in the car on my van, even though it's a nice van and everything, I have someone has to pull me up out of the chair." I said, "How long it's been there?" She goes, "I can't give you the exact time how long it's been there." She goes, "But at least 5 years." That was back in 2009. So this has been a thing. So my understanding that's hereditary too, but I'm like, wait a minute here. If my body was absorbing that vitamin D like it's supposed to be, I wouldn't have had that issue. But God works things for all good. So with that journey and the weight loss journey and everything, he's working something up for good, because this is going to help somebody. Because somebody along the line, someone I'm come across, and it has happened on the other channel, and doing it on this channel, has said thank you, because we didn't know how to cook lasagna without having regular cheese, or have spaghetti, or tacos, or like your desserts, the cookies and everything, because everything's with regular butter. And at the time, you had choice of no butter or the expensive butter, or you use Crisco, and you come up and you start figuring things out. We do have a book that a girl cookbook that we got in 2013 after Anastasia was born. But she used all kinds of, like, the Gora gum stuff and everything. That's expensive stuff. And that was expensive in 2013. And it's like, so that's when we start figuring things out, how to make things without all that stuff. We normally eat a lot, and it's really changed. Yeah. Joy was telling me they're not eating like they used to. Oh, see, I love I love food. My goodness. But as far as eating, I really don't eat a lot, because when I wake up at 8:30, by the time I finish looking at, do my devotions, pray, look at the messages, look at the phone, doing the things I need to do, get up, get myself ready, make my coffee, sit down, start, I try to start listening to, watching videos to catch up on everything, and I was like, and by the time I realized, and I'm working on the channel or working on something else, it's 11 o'clock or so, and I'm just like, wait a minute, the time just said 10 o'clock. It's 11:30 now. I'm like, and I'm not, I don't, I've got the clock right here on my computer, but I don't pay attention to it that much because well, I don't like multitasking, but I am multitasking. And so by that time, I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, well, yeah, I guess it is time to eat. Listen to this, Heather, because Joy has a testimony, and so does Donnie, about their health issues and what this, oh my goodness, this thing, I'm telling you, Joy, if you want to, you can put your links in there. I don't have Nightbot set up on here yet because I had to get this started in order to get Nightbot in here and doing all that good stuff. So y'all remember how that is, because I'm going through the YouTube studio to go live because I couldn't do it through Restream yet or StreamYard because I haven't done a first live for the channel. So this is the first live for the channel, and then going back to Seattle Austin train. Anyway, that the journey and everything, and so as far as health goes and everything, the weight when I got hurt in 2009, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I'll show you a picture. I was close to 400 pounds, and it took me 10 years to lose 100 pounds because I was just like, you know, it would come off and then I put it back on, and stuff that happened and everything, and I was just like, what's going on? This is ridiculous. And so I start doing the low carb again, and I'm like, this time, it's coming off because I'm just not gonna stay like this. And I was like, doing my best so much to try to get to 250 before I went on my trip to see Joy and Donnie. And that didn't work. So, when I go back and I look at these pictures, to me, I'm embarrassed because I was like, oh my gosh. It really has to wake me up because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm not that bad. It's not that bad. But I'm like, oh yeah, it is that bad. I'm like, I need to, get with it. All right, let's see here. Let me get to this picture. Now, this picture was taken in 2012. So it has to be 4. All right. I have to go through slowly. So I'll skip it. Because my doctor, who I'm like, and you had no idea how big I used to be. So one day I took the picture and I emailed it to him. I'm like, yeah, how about that? He was like, the next time he saw me, he was, oh my gosh. All right, that was in 2012. Christmas, I would say November or so. I was probably on Christmas time. Yeah, right before Christmas. And that was in 2012. And no, I didn't have a scale, but I, I knew it was bad. You got hurt and I didn't move and did eat, but not, really wasn't doing no low carb or nothing back then. It's a long time since I've been dancing. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. So, so I was like, I was like between 350 and 400 pounds at that time. So it took me a year to get down. I would say I was 400 because it took me a year to get 300. And that was when I finally went to the doctor in 2017 and I knew how much I weighed. And then, back then I didn't have the insurance that I have now. So I only went once a year. When you self-pay, you save up the money, then you go to the doctor and everything. And then before, so this is 2025. So last year, so that'd be 4 years ago. So I gotta think. So 24, so 24, so 3 years ago. I mean, I could go look it up as, pictures right there, but I got down to 250. And then, yeah, we'll sit there and say, not this election, but the 2020, prices start going up. And then, you know, so didn't eat the low carb like I was eating. And then I put the weight back on. And I knew I was, but, so I was like, this is what I need. And I'll give you the money if, other stuff doesn't cover it. So then I learned an older woman was healed from a female issue using the patent drops from this Christian company. So I ordered them. Amen. It is God because I said, Lord, I'm coming to you like the woman with issue of blood. I do not want surgery. I need healing and need to know what to do. Exactly. And when we come to him, that's what he talks about, coming to him like a little child. Because, the child expects you to say yes. They think you may say no, but they want that yes. And that's how the Lord wants us to come to him also. Expecting that yes. Sometimes it's right then. Sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes I've heard he says no, but sometimes he says yes too, but in a different way than we expect. So you just never know. So this time, it took me a year to get 30 pounds off because I really wasn't strictly doing low carb. I would do it 1 to 2 days, then I would do something else and everything. So for the low carb to really work, I'll do 3 days. Breakfast and lunch. No carbs for breakfast and lunch. Then your dinner. By the third day, and yes, drink water. By the third day, what it does is changing your body to burn the fat that's stored for energy instead of the carbs you're already putting in, but it burns that up also. And it helps if you can walk 30 minutes before breakfast. I cannot yet. And I said yet, because that is my goal. I really want to get this off because I want to help my left hip. And I keep telling them, I said I don't have nothing there on the back side because I can feel the bone when I sit down. The doctor goes, you can't feel that bone. I'm like, don't tell me I can't feel the bones in my back because I know I can. So it's like the chair don't have no cushion. So, but that's our goals. That's But this channel is going to be about cooking dairy-free, alpha-gal, low-carb. You want to see some keto in there, go right ahead because we'll have fun with that too. But that, I would say omelet type thing, it was just the egg, then I sauteed the squash and the onion and just seasoned it with salt and I didn't put no pepper in it, salt and it was onion powder or something, whatever, and the cheese, and it was so good. Now if you are looking for a keto, like Tom Garvey, the keto cook, they've got some good stuff over there too. So, but yeah, I think we're gonna have fun. Um, Definitely thinking maybe just doing some nighttime would be late lives for me, but not for other people or people on the East Coast. It is, and a little bit that way east, but it's gonna be all good. We're gonna have some fun. As I might cook something next week because I got some plans for doing other things at the other channel. But yeah, the West Coast, everybody's still up. The West Coast, everybody's still up. East Coast, oh no, it's only 12:42 here. There could be a lot of people still up on the East Coast, Eastern time. You never know. All right, let's see. I gotta get something to drink. Oh, that's full. That's all right. Heather, I did watch your video today about all the cows. I was like, oh, so many babies. You having baby cows, and get how front Lisa had the baby piggies. And see who else has some baby animals. Oh my goodness. Somebody else was having baby animals. I was like, oh my goodness, everybody's so adorable. The Robin's is up. I don't know. I'm on the East Coast too, Robin. So let's see here. But yeah, I keep looking at this cookie book and I keep seeing more things I want to have. Oh, one other thing I do have that I got. I got the Smucker's All Natural. So that it's supposed to be no fructose corn syrup. No artificial flavors. Strawberry, sugar. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Sugar. It's supposed to have nut sugar in it. Fruit, pectin, and citric acid. So, yeah. All natural. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I just remember it's over there. It's over there. I'll wait for it to get. I got a big can of dehydrated strawberries, and I was like, I will be doing something with those also because my main purpose was since I can't grow strawberries, and strawberries are kind of like pricey around here right now. So I got that big can for $19. The Augusta Farms dehydrated one. So I'm like, well, I'll get the strawberries. We're gonna try and use those and see what I can come up with. I was like, that'd be pretty cool. And then I got a big can of chickpeas over there that I'm gonna open up and do something with on the channel and everything. We have seen black bear mamas with cubs on our bike rides. Yeah, see baby animals everywhere in Case Cove. I know that would be so cool. But for the wintertime, it'd just be cool to see the snow. Unless it's closed, then it might be closed because if the roads are slippery, they don't nobody have any accidents. Yeah. And I was like, so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna try and make any strawberry jam or anything with the dehydrated strawberries, but definitely gonna do something with the strawberries. I may put them on the chocolate pie, just like decorations or something. And another thing I want to do, the same recipe I use with the cocoa powder to make the chocolate. I want to use that grape juice over there to see if I can do the same thing. So I'll bring you along with that too. So that might be a lab just so that everybody can see if it works or not. If it fails, it fails. We might have something else good. Yeah, we are planning a snow staycation in Gatlinburg. We need to see if the almanac is correct. You just never know. But I was like, that was last year when it was snowing and everything. They're out driving, and I'm like, oh man. Oh, we had snow here too, so I ain't like nothing new. But we had a lot of snow last year, so I'm looking forward to some snow this year. And all. So, but and then of course, besides the honey mustard sauce I made, or I got 3 jars of this. So I was like, y'all be ready. There'll be a lot of mustard stuff going on. I did one with the making a mustard hamburger with the mustard in the hamburger and not on the hamburger. But I think I added some extra mustard on the hamburger. I know. Donnie's done said I'm going to be walking without those canes. I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm going to hold you up to that. Donnie said it. And all. So let me put some of this stuff back so that. And when I was at the doctor's, he asked me about my walk. I said, well, I use 2 canes because you just never know. I be sitting here, all good, go to get up and go to step, and then my hip will like go, oh no, you're not going to be walking anywhere. So he goes, okay, all right. He goes, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, yes, I am. Yeah, like an inch this year, melted the next day. Usually I get 4 to 6 inches a few times. Last year, this year it was too warm. Hey, Heather, how's your summer? Is it hot or is it like a mild summer? As my grandma always told me, if you have a hot summer, you're going to have a harsh winter. And last year it was hot here. So then we had a lot of snow. Not at one time, but we had to be able to walk without pain again. You got that right. So like that's why I'm moving up and down around in this chair. It was mild, but not heat wave, hardly any rain all year. You've had a dry summer. Okay, get ready for your winter. Don't quote me on that. Without not, I know what you're talking about, Robin. I tell you, it's like because from here to the mailboxes, it's not that far. But the thing is, I can be all right and go to step up that step, and and I don't have that cane, or I have one cane. It's like because I did that here just to get up out of the chair to come walk in the kitchen one day, and Anastasia and her mom were down here, and I just got up, I took one step, and I was like trying to grab for that cane, and because I didn't have it with me, I just left it at the table because I was like taking my few steps. And she goes, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, I'm just gonna kiss the floor instead today." I wish I could send some rain. I know, Heather. Let's see. Okay, here's my thinking. Okay, here's my thinking. They know it's gonna rain in the flood zones and everything else. They had those tankers that holds thousands of gallons of water, right? So as the rain's coming, take those tanker trucks, pump the water into those tanker trucks, and then take that to places that need water. You know, the creeks and all where other people live, and just fill that up. See, that's my thinking. I thought that years and years ago. Oh, you will love it, Robin. The first day I was there, not the first day, the second day, so the first full day I was there, Tuesday, it was hot and it was humid, but it wasn't that bad. But the next day it was really nice. Of course, we were up on the mountains too. I only do like 100 twice a day bounces. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, or go put out the fires. Exactly. Exactly. You can pump that water into those water tankers and everything because that's what they're made to hold, those gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of water. Take it to the firefighters to hump them out. Yeah, the tourist towns. I guess you can call Columbus a tourist town. We've got the zoo and let's see. Columbus Zoo has the water park and the zoo. What else is here? I'm trying to think now. Because Kings Island is towards Cincinnati. And the museums, golf. What else? Because we just really don't. Let's see. Besides the zoo, I'm trying to think. Now, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. We do have like trampoline park. So we got that zone scene 75, which is like arcade stuff and everything you could go do. Ooh, Oregon's spendy. Yeah, I think everybody is at this expensive to stay here after he retires. I understand that. Yeah, definitely. You know, well, I've been on for an hour and a half, so I thank y'all for coming and everything. I've enjoyed it. So, yes, I think this will work out perfect doing a live once a week, at this time. Probably around midnight after everybody goes to bed. That way, like I said, I won't have to mute and, um, you know, bleep up words or whatever. But I've had fun, and I thank everybody for sticking around and everything. And if you're watching on TV, thank you for coming. Watching the replay, thank you again. And yeah, time went fast. I know. We're gonna have a lot of fun and everything. A lot of cooking going on. I got a lot of cookbooks I can go through, and we'll go through them, and we'll do dessert sides and all kinds of good stuff. Yes, we were. We were definitely enjoying the talk. Definitely. And now I can go fix Nightbot up. the B and everything, the ticker and everything. So now I come up with some words for everybody can drop a link and everything. So y'all have a wonderful and blessed night. God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And we'll see you next time on Cooking Dairy Free and Alcohol with Nancy.
My bad.